Me on my sofa.
Hello and welcome to the A Cuppa with Anna podcast. Today I'm going to be joined by Claire Casley. We were just discussing our plants and how my plant in the background is dead and it shows that I haven't watered it. And your plant's looking pretty healthy, Claire.
Yeah. The key is to talk to them and water them.
I don't talk to mine and clearly I haven't been watering it. So I promise after this interview I'm going to water my plant, all right?
It's sad. It's a bit sad in the
Oh, dear. How are you, Claire?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. Just getting my kids back to school this morning. So yeah.
Back to school?
Yeah, they're back to school at home. Back to school.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because the this whole thing's had quite a bit of impact on you, hasn't it? Because obviously you've been sort of separated from your partner. Suddenly your children are at home. How have you been finding it?
It's been a big, steep learning curve. Yeah, bit of a roller coaster up and lots of ups and downs. And it's been nice to have 2 weeks. They've been on holiday, so we've had a break.
Yeah.
But now it's getting started again and getting them motivated.
Yeah. How are they finding it?
They're finding it strange to be separated from friends.
Yeah.
And other people, family. But yeah, so we're all gradually learning. It's big, time of a new way of life.
Yeah. You're like 3 weeks now, isn't it? That it's Yeah. Very strange. Now, Claire, you're otherwise known as the Faery Whisperer. Sorry, I completely forgot to do an introduction because we were so busy talking about our plants. You're known as the Faery Whisperer, and today we're going to talk a little bit about just the impact of nature and mindfulness. So, first of all, tell me, what is the Faery Whisperer? Tell me a little bit about it, where it comes from.
Okay, so it comes from my love of nature and how nature has helped me to get well from when I experienced some burnout a few years ago, like end of 2012, and I left my old life in the corporate world behind. And I was an IT trainer, worked in admin, and rediscovered while I was poorly, rediscovered my art and creativity and going out and walking in nature and connecting to all things magical. So always believed in fairies and angels and otherworldly beings. And I just found that I was drawing fairies, writing about them, and connecting with nature on my walks, and that was really helped my well-being. So the Faery Whisperer comes from all of those things that have helped me, that I now help, mostly women I help with as well through my coaching and creativity.
Claire, now I'm going to be really honest. When I first met you, and you're the partner of my friend, aren't you? That's how we've met, through Tony. And I was like, oh, this lady believes in fairies and different things. And there was a small part of me that was a bit like, huh? Like, that's all a bit woo-woo. Like, what the hell is all this? Like, who believes in fairies? Who believes in this kind of stuff? And obviously I've got to know you a bit better now, and I love what you do, and I think you've got the most calming, soothing presence. Whenever I'm in your presence, I just feel, I don't know, very calm, and it's lovely. Do you actually believe that fairies are real then?
Yeah, I do, because I do, through my personal experiences that I've had, and everybody, most people have some kind of belief in something.
Yeah.
And I think it goes back to staying in touch with that wonder that we have as children that we tend to lose as we grow up, and that connection with being, my childhood self, I suppose. This belief in the fairy realm helps me stay in touch with that and to have that positive outlook, when life, especially at the moment, when life just feels so testing and challenging, to have something like that to hold on to really helps me.
And I have to say, Claire, I actually got really excited about our interview because I felt like I was going to a party. So I put makeup on for the first time since the lockdown, and I put a dress on for you and everything, because I just think that it was like, oh, we're going to talk about fairies, and it all felt quite exciting. So I think so. Definitely having a positive impact on me, anyway.
Oh, good. You're very lovely today.
But I think, like you said, it's like that childlikeness, keeping that spirit alive in you, and that's very evident whenever I talk to you. But I think, like you say, you believe in fairies, and I think we all have our different beliefs. I believe in something, I talk to something. I don't necessarily call it a fairy. So is that sort of what you're saying? What it is, everyone's just got their own little sort of way of believing, their own faith?
Yeah, I think it's important to have something to believe in, whatever that is, it's that thing that helps you to keep going every day. It doesn't matter what that is. The sort of the people that I connect with, there's quite a big community of people that I connect with from all over the world, online, that do have this belief in fairies and nature spirits, and there's quite a lot of events based around it, and it's quite a big culture. So that we all have our different tribes, so whatever works for different people, really.
Definitely. Well, I've heard that they have fairy festivals, don't they?
Yeah, I went to one last year in Cornwall that happens every year, and I was doing fairy walks at the festival with my children, and that was really fun.
So what does a fairy walk entail?
So I take people out and help them to see nature in a different way, and we do some meditation, so the mindfulness and connecting with the fairies, and really I like to help people connect in with their hearts and dreams that they have, because a lot of us, as I said, we go through life, go through 9 to 5 and forget all of that, forget we have dreams and things that we want for ourselves, and we sort of come to a point where we think perhaps it's not possible. So I like to inspire that in people, so they can think, well, maybe that is possible, maybe I can do that.
You just mentioned about meditation. So meditation is obviously something that's really important, and you do beautiful relaxing meditations. You're currently recording some, aren't you?
Yes, today I finished recording them yesterday, and I've sent them off to a sound engineer with some music, and she's going to edit them for me. So those will be available very soon, within the next, I'm thinking 1st of May, which is a really specific date in the fairy calendar. It's Beltane, and it's a really magical day. So that's what I've got in mind to release them, and there'll be a book that goes with them as well.
What's this magical day? Why is this specific day?
Yeah. So there's different festivals, pagan festivals throughout the year. Beltane is a fire festival, and it's about the coming of spring, the coming of fertility. It's a time when people traditionally dance around the maypole, and the Morris dancers come out.
I used to love maple dancing.
Yeah. It's a really ancient celebration, and lovers used to traditionally, they go off into the woods and roll around.
Oh, really? All right.
Yeah. Drink cider.
That sounds fun.
It's also, so it's associated with that and kind of magic and the blossoms out and the trees, and the fairies are supposed to come out on that day as well. Yeah.
So very appropriate. Is there any particular inspirations for the meditations that you've been recording?
Yeah, they're all inspired by life events and meditations that I've done that have been inspired by places I've been to. So some of them are places I've been to on Dartmoor, and I've done a meditation and it's had that place in it. Or it's places I've been to, like with my partner, and or experiences we've had. So it's drawn from my life.
Yeah.
And they're all unique. But the main focus for them is about love, which is something that we all need at the moment, or the world needs even more of. So that love and connection with each other and the natural world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just mentioned that it's inspired a lot by places, and I know that you do love visiting. Obviously you can't at the moment, but you love visiting lots of different beautiful places. Is there sort of one place in particular that you love to go, where you really feel alive?
I would say Dartmoor, and it would be Houndtor. I love Houndtor because, especially this time of year, I can't see it this time of year now, but there's always bluebells up there from the end of April to about the middle of May.
Isn't it? Houndtor's next to Haytor, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just opposite.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. So when these meditations are ready, where can people find you? Will they be on your website if people want to get hold of them?
So yeah, I'm going to put them all over my social media. So I've got my Faery Whisperer page on Facebook. I'll have them on my website, Faery Whisperer, .co.uk. And I've also got a group, Faery Whispering group, that people can join. And then I just have them available for download on Amazon, Audible, iTunes. There's a whole list of places that I want to make available. SoundCloud. Yeah.
Basically, just find the Faery Whisperer and you will appear online somewhere.
Yeah.
Claire, you mentioned that you work a lot with women and helping them to bring out the best in them and refine their dreams and things. But I also know that you had an experience working with some Aboriginal women.
Yes. Yeah.
Tell me about this. This is really interesting.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. I was in London, and I left London in 1998. I was fed up with my job, and I was trying to get somewhere actually in the TV industry as a set designer, and just wasn't getting anywhere. So I thought, I'm just going to go travelling, and a friend and I quit our jobs and we went to Australia on a working visa. So liberating.
Those life-defining moments where you're like, stuff it all, let's just go travelling.
Great, it was great, and I recommend that to anyone. If you haven't had children yet, just do it. And because of my secretarial skills, which I just, even though I've left that well behind, which is so valuable, those skills, I really want them. I managed to get a temping job with the Reconciliation, which is the council for the Aboriginal people. So it's the voice for the Aboriginal people in Australia, and they go to Parliament and speak for them. So I was working in their office. It was all women, and I learnt so much working with them. They were just so fascinating. And the landscape in Cairns, this was far north Queensland, was just beautiful. And I think my awareness of the landscape and how amazing and healing it can be really opened up during that time. And they were like the nicest people I'd ever worked with up until that point. Such a contrast. Yeah.
For what reason? What was your biggest takeaway from the experience?
I think it was that the most that so the woman I worked for was really important. You know, she was
Yeah.
the chairman of the council, but she was really kind and humble and very generous hearted. So when I left, they all took me out for a meal and really, really appreciated what I've been doing. And I thought I've only been doing a bit of typing and a bit of planning. But they were really like, no, it's amazing what you've been doing. So I learned that it gave me faith in humanity, because I'd come from London where everything was a bit pushy and shovey and not very nice. I thought, well, yeah, there are really lovely people out there, and kindness, and
Yeah.
you can be powerful as a person, but be kind and humble at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it just made you feel really seen and appreciated, and that's
Yeah.
what we all want, really, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, I thought that's the way I'm going to treat other people, because that's the way I like to be treated.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, that's lovely. Claire, I know also, I mean, there's so many interesting things about you and they keep popping into my head. But something that you do for yourself to sort of relax and look after your well-being is you play harp, don't you? And you write songs and various things. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, that was, well, I used to play piano when I was a child, and then that had to stop for various reasons, and I always missed music. So, but I didn't really believe in myself I didn't think I was a musician, even though as a child I've been making up little songs on my piano, and I've always written poetry. And then at my 41st birthday, I bought myself a harp lesson. And I thought, because I've been listening to harp music, I thought I really like to do that. It really soothes me. And so that's what I did. So I've been playing now for, well, 6 years. Yeah.
Wow.
And I get so much from it. I'm not doing it to be a performing musician. I'm doing it for myself, for my own needs and joy, if you like.
Yeah.
But as part of that, I created music, and music has come to me, and I've written songs. Yeah, which I do with the chair. Yeah.
I can't wait to hear you play the harp, because I've never heard you play it, so I can't wait to hear you play.
Yeah. I have done some little videos on Facebook in the past, the occasional thing that I put up, like
Oh yeah, no, I'd love to see.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, it's time for the random question section now.
Okay. I'm just gonna
no one escapes the random question section, I'm afraid.
That's okay.
Okay. All right. This one's come out a couple of times actually on recent interviews. Okay, so you have a day to yourself, all to you, and you're taking yourself out for the entire day on a date. What does the day look like?
Oh, right. So I would start with how I always start my day, writing my journal. And then I would go to Totnes, which is one of my favourite places, and go to a really nice cafe and order a really lovely mocha and just sit with a book, read my book, drink my coffee, have a really lovely piece of cake as well.
Oh, nice.
I miss going to cafes so much at the moment. And then I would have a swim. I really love swimming in the sea actually. So imagine this is a nice warm day and I go to Elbury Cove in Torquay. I'd swim there.
Yeah.
And sit in the sun and do some art and have a bit of a walk in the woods, and then come home, make myself a really delicious meal and watch a really nice film, an uplifting film. Yeah.
Sounds lovely.
Yeah.
I'm with you on most of that, apart from the sea swimming. I'm not sure I'd be swimming in the sea. Depends on how warm it is.
It'll be quite warm for me to do that.
Oh, you took me there. The way you described that, it's like you took me there. Okay, go for another one. If you could rule the world, what would be the first thing you would change and put in place?
I'd make sure that everybody has to start the day, wherever they are in their workplace, by saying something kind to someone that they work with.
Nice.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Oh, if you could meet any person from the past, who would you meet and what would you ask them?
That's an interesting one. Gosh, there's so many people. Okay, I'm just going to say Marilyn Monroe because I was a fan of hers as a teenager, and I'd ask her some advice. I think I'd say to her, what would you advise me to do to make the most of the day?
Nice. That was a really hard question, I thought. You know, it's like you can almost have like a day to think about that one.
Yeah.
Marilyn Monroe. Alrighty. I'm glad this one has come out. Like the same ones keep coming out. I need to mix them up.
Yeah.
I'm glad this one has come out. Which celebrity would you most like to be stuck in a jacuzzi with? And it was your boyfriend that added that question to this pot. Several years ago, about 4 years ago, we put a load of questions together.
I know. So no offense to someone that I've always admired and love their music is Morton Harkett from a-ha. So
really?
Yeah, I think amazing.
Yeah. All right. We know who you be in the jacuzzi with. All right, Claire, we're going to wrap up now. We want some recommendations from you because obviously lots of people have got a lot more time on their hands. So tell us about a book that you've read and why that book stands out to you.
Right, so The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, because that was a life-changing book for me. If you want to get back into your creativity, that's the book to read because she has a plan.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
And a film?
Film, I would say The Searchers, actually, which is a really amazing film with John Wayne in it, and it's a great story.
Alrighty. And a song that you love to dance to?
Ray of Light by Madonna.
I can't even remember how that song goes. I have to listen to that.
I'm not going to sing.
Come on. You can sing. We can have our own dance party.
Where she's dancing, and it's like she's got this really fast film behind her. Everything's whizzing by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I know. Yes, I know which one. It's more of the more recent ones, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay. A standout person in your life and why?
Oh, from the past or from now?
Well, you put your grandmother when I asked you the pre-questions.
So my grandmother, on my dad's side, she was a huge influence on my life. She was an artist, and I spent a lot of my childhood with her.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. What is the best piece of advice that you've ever been given?
Don't compare yourself to anyone else. Just be
So
yourself.
hard to do. I think it's
Yeah,
so easy to slip into that, isn't it?
it really is, but it's the road to insanity.
Yep, definitely been there plenty of times, like we all have. Listen to that one, people. Good bit of advice. All right, and to finish off, I would like you to set the listeners a challenge.
Right.
While they've got more time on their hands.
Okay, so this is definitely a Fairy Whisperer challenge, and it's a bit different, but it's a really lovely thing to do, and just think of it as a bit of fun. Don't take it too seriously, but it's quite an interesting thing to do as well. So it's basically sending a message to a loved one through a tree or a plant. So,
okay. I think my plant's dead though, so can it still send messages?
Oh no, what's it called? Oh look, oh, I have to say.
Sorry, carry on.
Yeah. So, right, so this will work even if you can't go outside or even if you don't have a pot plant. So if you've got a pot plant, you can team up with a friend to do this, a friend or a relative or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. And simplest thing to do is for you to think of a symbol and go to your plant and touch your plant or your tree and imagine the symbol and send it to the other person's plant or tree. So then they go to their plant and pick up the message. So you have to let them know when you sent it to them, and then they can send one back to you.
Okay, can we try this now?
Yeah, you could. Let's do it live.
All right, come on.
I think I need to send your plant some healing. Oh.
Okay. So I have to tune into my plant.
Yeah. So
and then the message it gives me, I send it to your plant.
No, I'll send your plant a message, and then you touch your plant and pick up the message.
Yeah.
And then you can send one back to me.
Okay.
But it can just send a symbol. You can either send a word or just a symbol. Keep it simple. So I'll send you a symbol.
Okay.
Your plant. Then touch the plant. Plants like this, they like being touched. Okay, I've sent
Okay.
a message.
The symbol is it wants to come back to life. Is that what you sent?
It was, yeah, I sent it some love.
I could see it. I shut my eyes and I could see it rising up.
Yeah. actually trembling a little bit. It's like,
All right, I'm gonna send yours. I'm gonna send yours one now. Okay. Okay, sent.
I got sparkles.
I sent some dance, like so the plant could move.
Oh, wow. Oh,
So it was
lovely.
like, yeah, aliveness. I think sparkles is a good match.
Sparkles. Yeah.
Well, Claire, I have never done anything like that before. Thank you so much. It's been so nice to chat to you. I always love chatting to you.
Great to chat to you, Anna. Thank you.
You'll always bring the creativity out in me. Whenever I spoke to you, I always find myself being creative afterwards. So,
Oh, great.
yeah.
No.
Thanks for chatting to me. Take care.
Okay, that's love.